Right, welcome back to our advanced natural remedies class here, natural remedies uncut. And today we'll be diving into cancer again, getting further information. Last week we touched a lot about breast cancer. This week we want to talk about what you can do generally for cancer, a little more things, and also probably get into some specific types of cancers as well, maybe things that address men. And we'll try to see how much we can cover through this class here because cancer is such an extensive topic. And I know that you'll be blessed by being a part of this class here. And thank you so much for joining us here this week for this Natural Remedies Uncut series.
And feel free to continue to share this video as well. I mean, you might just be saving a life, right? And we believe that the only hope of better things is the education of people in right principles. So go ahead, if you're on Zoom, like share that same link with many others. If you may be on YouTube as well right now, feel free to subscribe and also share it forth with many others through WhatsApp, Facebook, messengers, SMS, email, wherever it is, you can be able to share it to many others. So we'll be heading into our topic on cancer and natural remedies, and which you do not want to miss, and you don't want your friends to miss as well.
Yeah, we thank you so much as well for last week. You guys were really sharing this class here, and we had a lot of people on, and also the people that viewed the videos on YouTube. We just want to thank you so much for sharing those videos. And for those who inquire all the time, every week, about the flyers and the reminders that we send out, we appreciate you so much for helping to invite a lot more people to this class here.
Yeah, but I was like down in the city yesterday in New York City, and I was able to meet a few of you who are joining us as well. So just wanted to say hello to each and every one of you. So we're going to go ahead and begin, and we're going to start off by again going to a great physician to be able to lead us, to be able to educate us, and to show us how we can help in the restoration of our bodies as we speak to the great physician. Let us pray together. Father in heaven, we just thank you for the opportunity to learn of you, your principles, your remedies, and the things that you have sanctioned and blessed in nature. We pray that you may teach us your ways. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, so what we're going to do here, we're just going to start off with, just going to show a little things there from Remedies. Just something short that we talk about, something that's called anti-neoplastic. So neoplastic is, the formation of, cancer cells and what you can take generally that can help with cancer. So one of those things that we talk about here is black seed oil. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen the black seed oil or cumin seed oil. Those things it's very powerful. You can take like a tablespoon of the black seed oil on a daily basis. It's not only good for cancer, but it's good for so many other issues as well, with
inflammation,
pressure, diabetes, inflammatory diseases, and so forth. Black seed oil can help tremendously.
Yes, and another one we have there is garlic. Garlic is also very sulfuric food, which you'll see a lot of those actually help very much with like the immune system, immunity, and also really helps when it comes to ensuring that you can be able to fight off disease even more effectively. So we're going to see here how we can be able to utilize some of those foods in the process of helping with cancer.
Yes, and I just fixed something with my mic here. I believe that someone is saying that it wasn't working properly. So hopefully everything's working now. If it is, just let me know that it's working good now. Okay, so then we'll just continue here. The next one is ginger. Ginger is very powerful in helping people with cancer. So, these are some things that you can use just in a general sense, those things that helps to prevent the formation of cancer from growing in your body. And there's so many different other herbs that we can recommend, like echinacea and all these different herbs there. But the list is there's so many that you can be able to use. But this is a good start here that you can incorporate in teas or in your foods and so forth, just to help you with cancer in general.
Yes. So we'll be seeing some remedies as we go on throughout, because as we know, like for many of us here, for someone who may have cancer or who may have cancer in the family as well, what are some ways we can help in avoiding those things, but what are some ways we can help in overcoming that? Now, one of the things we'll show you before we get into a lot of our remedies, and we'll be showing you some applications and different things that I think would be very powerful for varying types of cancer, which we'll mention as well, is detoxification, right? And I know like some of the main, I'll say like every single organ, eliminating organ is very essential when someone has cancer to be able to eliminate it effectively. However, there are also some very key organs, right? Very key eliminating organs that you definitely have to work with, especially with someone with cancer, because those are typically even a lot more highly toxic. But then when you are able to remove that toxicity, you'll be able to see dramatic results and improvements with cancer. So for example, one of those would be your liver. It's a very powerful detoxification organ that we work very closely with with anyone that we deal with cancer, because we realize that if you have a clean detoxified liver, which literally filters your blood like every 3 minutes about, then you have a better chance and better odds of being able to fight off cancer and becoming cancer free, right? And also not only that, you do have like the colon, which is also a very big one as well. A lot of people with cancer also do have an unhealthy gut, unhealthy colon. And of course, we know like around 80% of the immune system is actually within the gut area. So we're going to look at like the liver for some time because I believe that's something that is also very crucial and essential. And there are even other institutions that like cancer institutions, and they realize the impact of liver cleansing, and that is like a huge emphasis of just that one isolated thing to be able to work on, just because of how effective it is when you have a liver that's able to properly help you in fighting. So like if you look at this for a moment, like liver detoxification, it's one of the major filters of the body. It has like over 500 different functions. One of the big aspects which we mentioned, it helps with detoxification, and also it takes around like 1 to 2 years for it to totally regenerate. And we're going to see something more here and see like exactly how we can be able to help in detoxifying the liver, so that way we have a better chance of being able to fight off cancers.
Yeah, and one of the things that we wanted to talk about when it comes to liver detoxification, in our cleansing class, we did talk about the liver flush here, but I want to mention something else, and maybe we can go over the liver flush again very briefly. But then one of the things that we always use at our Lifestyle Center is the enema here. So I'm going to show you this here, and we use this bucket enema. The reason why we use it is easy to pour in, ingredients inside of here, and to reuse it, because you're going to be using this, on a daily basis. So when you have the little enema bag, now this is just easier to clean and easier to use, and can hold a good amount of fluid inside of here. However, with our colon, I can't even call it a colon cleanse, but the liver detoxification that we use in here is with coffee. So then we make this coffee remedy where we use about 10 ounces of water when we make the coffee. So what you do, you just take 2 tablespoons of coffee, grounded up coffee, or the coffee, whole coffee itself. You can get organic, so you don't get any of those chemicals, especially when you put stuff in your colon, you don't have chemicals in there. And then you boil that in about 32 ounces of water, and you let that come to a boil, and then you let it simmer for about 20 minutes. And then you pour in 10 ounces of the coffee that you've made inside of any bucket like this here. And what you do here, this is, with gravity flow. Obviously, you put your tip here, your enema tube with the tip that will be inserted into the rectum area. So then you lay down on your left side, and you can raise your right leg. And then, so what you want to do is you want to stay on your left side, because with your colon makes a shape here, right? And it connects to your small intestine. And when your colon goes around here, goes down into your rectum. So then you have the lowest part of your colon, which is to the bottom here. When you lay on your left side, you keep that coffee to the lower part of your colon. And some people might be worried about your colon reabsorbing some of the coffee into the bloodstream. So what we use is just 10 ounces, no more than 12 ounces, because we don't want it to go higher up into the colon where more absorption may happen. So in the bottom part of your colon, this colon area is connected to your hepatic circulatory system. And when you think about hepatic, that deals with the liver. So then there's a circulatory system where if your colon becomes too toxic, your liver will actually start to filter out your colon to help your colon so it doesn't become too toxic. So then putting this coffee here in the lower part of your colon, you can have that coffee go directly to your liver, bypassing your bloodstream and so forth, and detoxifying, helping to detoxify and cleanse out your liver. And this is very important with people with cancer, because just imagine your body is fighting that cancer, eating away at the cancer, and it has to let go of all that debris and the toxins, that is the debris that comes out from fighting the cancer, and you have to keep your body clean. And people that have cancer is in a very toxic state as well. So this is just to aid the body and help the body in detoxifying the liver even more effectively. So this is something you can do every single day here. So you fill this up, as I said before, about 10 ounces of that coffee remedy that we talked about here, and you put that into your colon area. So those of you who might, have a hard time, remembering some of these things there, what we want to do here at the end of our classes, especially when we finish our cancer series here, we oftentimes send you, or we usually send you a ebook that has all the remedies and all the recipes and everything that we've spoken about in the class here. We send that to you in our WhatsApp community. So make sure you join our WhatsApp community. For those who are on Zoom, you'll see a link here in the chat. For those who are on YouTube, you'll see a link in the description. Whilst we're live, you probably wouldn't see that link yet, but once the video is done, we'll add that link to the description here so you can join our community and get our free resources, our ebooks.
No, definitely. And for any of you wondering, the coffee is not something you'll be taking internally at any point. Coffee internally is detrimental to the body. It actually negatively impacts the liver when taken through the oral area and ingested, right? So then this is not an internal, oral thing that you will be doing. It's only within the colon area where it stays, like Brett mentioned there, it stays within the sigmoid colon area, and it basically travels up directly to the liver to force it to be able to help in detoxifying a lot more effectively, thus giving you a better opportunity at fighting that cancer. And something that you'll implement on a regular daily basis as well to be able to get the results that you need with cancer. So again, this is something that anyone with cancer, not even related to only, like, let's say liver cancer, but whether it may be like prostate cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, like any type of cancer someone has, then your liver is something that is consistently there to help and aid you in that process of helping to alleviate a lot of that cancerous condition. All your detoxifying organs actually helps in that process as well. So doing that is something that will actually benefit and help in multiple areas and multiple types of cancers.
Yep, definitely. And this is not something that you can just do for cancer only. You can use this if you want to detoxify your liver in other instances as well. So this is something that can be done in other instances as well.
Another thing I just mentioned as we on that liver cleansing, because that could definitely help in the process of cleansing it even more, is like if you were to just grab like some sort of a cloth, like a white cloth, flannel cloth, paper towel, or something to that sort. I would say, just have it a size that could be placed like even over the liver area. Then you grab yourself some castor oil, right? We spoke about castor oil in the last class, and we mentioned how it helps in really softening up a lot of the masses someone may have, like whether it may be like benign or whether it may be like cancerous and so forth. It works very well for that. But castor oil also works great when it comes to liver detoxification as well. So for example, if I get one of these, some sort of like a, paper towel, a white cloth or flannel that I can use, I'll just drench some of the castor oil onto that particular cloth and have it a size where I can place it over my liver area. So once I essentially put that castor oil over it, and I'll like warm it up. I can warm it up in the oven maybe for like 30, a small oven, 30 to 60 seconds, just a little bit of heat. And then I'll place it over my liver area, right? And then over that, I will essentially like put some sort of a plastic wrap over it. And I'll tip it down with medical tape, right? So that way it could stay in place, and I'll leave that on overnight or anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours. or you can leave it on overnight. Now, even throughout your liver cleansing, you can actually implement that on a regular basis during the liver cleansing process as well. And that will actually be an effective way to help in detoxifying even the liver area, coupled with what you're doing as well.
Yep. And then, I'm just going to show you an image here of what happens after you've done a liver flush. So this is the stones that come out of an individual here. I'm not even sure whose is this right now. It could be one of ours or some guests who came to our place, but we've seen this so many times already, over and over. So this is the liver stones that comes out of your gallbladder, your liver, and it deposits into your small intestines, and you defecate it out of your rectum eventually. So this is after our liver flush here. So those who are joining now, who haven't been a part of our series, Natural Remedies Uncut, we actually covered this in January. We have a liver class that we covered in January. So we advise you to go on YouTube and to watch that video. And that video will have a liver flush instruction inside of there that you can watch to be able to flush out your liver. Now, if you, at the end of this class there, we probably post that video in the WhatsApp community. So that way you can have reference to that class as well. But then you can just go into our YouTube channel, Eden Lifestyle Live, where we do our live streaming on YouTube every single week. And you can be able to go back to our videos in January and you'll see our liver class there. And it will talk about liver flush and liver cleansing.
Yeah, no, definitely. So then, and again, like we mentioned, it's something that is extremely important, especially with people with cancer, something that you definitely want to be able to do, making sure that you have your liver is cleaned out, your colon is cleaned out, and we literally recommend a total body detox. So go watch those videos. I mean, even get an hour in time. We do have a 30-day detox program as well, detox kit. And we really recommend doing that entire process too, because detoxification, we realize, is one of the big initial steps because the body is very toxic already. There's also toxicity buildup. And by alleviating that, then you put yourself in a much better position to be able to allow your body to more effectively fight off cancer, right? So that's what you want to do.
Yep. So I guess we can go into our another general thing that you can do for cancer. We can talk about the infrared light in here. So we're gonna use a dummy. This is our brother here, Brother John, who, let's say Brother John has like a tumor mass, right? So we're just gonna demonstrate how to help with that. And this is something that we have used in the past before as well.
So what we're going to show you right here is how to be able to utilize this right here we have, which is infrared light. And usually when we utilize that as well, it's usually dark in the room. We do have light in here as well. But essentially, it depends on, like, let's say, someone, if someone may have like a particular tumor mass in different aspects, there are different ointments or different poultices that we may apply onto that, over that tumor area, right? And after you apply that poultice over the tumor area, we do have this here, which you can actually get, like this fixture part. I think you can just get at like a Home Depot, and you can also just buy the lighting, which is like infrared lighting, and it creates that heat, almost mimics that of the sunlight as well. And what we do with that as well, this serves as a driver to be able to help drive in whatever the ointment or poultice it is that we actually looking to be able to drive into that localized area on that individual. So, like, there are different areas you can utilize this, different parts of the body. We've done it through the kidney area, over tumor masses area in different locations. Whether that may be in whatever area that there may be like some sort of a tumor mass area where you want to like drive in an ointment or like a poultice. So we're gonna see what poultice or ointment we want to like
Yeah,
showcase
so
here.
we even have the one that we did like last week here. And we have like a black seed oil, castor oil in there. and some olive oil too as well. And we can just apply this here, to an area. And you can even add some other things in there too as well, like myrrh or golden seal or this other stuff. And you can wipe it onto over the tumor mass. And then the UV light just helps to penetrate, drive that into the skin even further as well.
So sometimes we do have something here to clamp it, and we'll just clamp it onto something here, or maybe even clamp it onto that same stand.
Yeah, we can just.
So let's see here. So that same stand we use for like the enemas comes in handy as well, or you can just get anything you have. I'm just going to hang it for now and position it while it's hang. But essentially, having the clamp behind, which we do have, we didn't bring it in here right now. Having the clamp behind helps you to like direct it how you would like to. But what you want to do is if you apply like especially that ointment that has like DMSO, black seed, and so on, DMSO is a very strong solvent, and it could blister very easily, and this will be creating a lot of heat. So you want to be able to gauge things. You don't want it to be like really close to someone, because a lot of the intense heat could actually create a blistering effect. So you do want to keep it more like at a distance enough, but still directed over the area. So that way it will be able to penetrate into just allow that ointment to penetrate into the area that you're targeting more specifically.
Yeah, so this is like a powerful remedy that you can use to help to make your poultices or even some of your ointments, your castor oil, like different stuff like that is make it a little more potent, intensifies the effects of those tumor suppressant poultices that we're talking about here. We've even used in the past where we actually helped to increase the effectiveness of, like, let's say a clay poultice or charcoal poultice, and we applied over the skin here and we put the light over it, just to increase the effectiveness of these poultices. So this UV light here really helps to increase the effectiveness of poultices and stuff like that. Now, I'm sure you've heard about people like doing like mud baths and stuff like that, where they dip themselves in clay and they go out into the sun, and then the sun on the body, and it dries up the clay and stuff like that. Having the clay poultice over there and doing the UV light kind of mimics that what people try to do with in nature. So this is just a very powerful way to just increase the intensity of your poultices that you apply to the tumor mass areas in the body. So this is not just for, as I said, as we were saying last week as well, this is not only for malignant tumor masses, but this can also work good for benign tumor masses, just boils or different benign masses on the body in different areas.
No, definitely. And yeah, so anything you really want to drive, it's like a driver as well. So like, for example, we do have even different ointments we make. Some has even DMSO in there too, that we utilize for like pain, right? People who have like a lot of pain. So sometimes we'll apply it, and you can even use that even same infrared solution here to be able to help drive that even more, and to help give more relief to someone who may be experiencing lots of external pains and so forth. So those are things that you can be able to implement and utilize, right? So again, different locations, it could work differently. All depends on the localized area that you're targeting. And there's a multiple types of course, topical applications that you can use that you can help to drive it in with this.
Yep, definitely. So let's take our brother man out of the way as we go to some other remedies here.
All right, great. So then, so we covered so far, we saw different things, from animals that we can be able to utilize, detoxify the liver. We're able to see even the ointment that we can actually implement and use over different tumor mass areas, and how we can even drive that even more. And, we did speak about, essentially even not only the ointment that we mentioned that you can use, but you can also do poultices as well, right? And last time on our last class, we did mention several different poultices that we were able to cover. I think we went over fig poultice, right? We did fig poultice. We mentioned, so you need to make sure if you missed it, you go look at it. We also mentioned about the clay poultice. And I'm not sure which other ones we covered. I think we probably just mentioned charcoal as well.
Yeah, we talked about the charcoal. We talked about castor oil pack and different stuff like that. So you want to watch our last class. because some of the stuff that we talked about in our last class can be applied across the board. So the same thing that you'll apply over a tumor on the breast can be applied over a tumor in the lungs area, in different areas of the body that people may have tumor develop. So these things can be used across the board here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, one of the things that people experience on a yearly basis, that the number one killer for cancer is the lung cancer. And oftentimes, the number one cause of lung cancer is smoking or even secondhand smoke. But then what we want to do here is to give someone, like someone who has an issue with smoking cigarettes and they want to be able to overcome the addiction of smoking. What I want to do is to give you a stop smoking urge remedy right now. So this remedy, as you use this remedy here, anytime you get the urge for smoking a cigarette, you can take a shot of this here or a drink of this, and this will really help you to help to calm down the urge for smoking as well. So the recipe here is 1 cup of honey, 2 teaspoons of peppermint powder, a third teaspoon of peppermint tincture, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So that's a cup of honey, 2 teaspoons of peppermint powder, third teaspoon peppermint tincture, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And what you do, you mix those ingredients together and you take a half a teaspoon about every hour or as needed to kill the urge. So if you feel like the urge is coming on, you take like a half a teaspoon of that, and that's really going to help you to suppress that urge for smoking. We call this our stop smoking urge remedy here. And just by overcoming that smoking addiction can help to save so many lives. So you can send this remedy to so many people or individuals that you know who have a problem with smoking, and sometimes they want to overcome that addiction. So another thing that you can do when it comes to smoking addiction is you can get this thing here that we're going to be using with cancer too as well. And we talked about this in our cleansing class too as well, a cleansing in January. We talked about the portable sauna. So if you go like on Amazon and we sent out links where you can buy some of those things that we were talking about. But the portable sauna, that's going to help you to sweat. It's going to raise your body temperature, accelerate sweating. What you want to do is someone who has an addiction with smoking, you want them to sweat because you want to get that nicotine out of the system. So then that cleansing, detoxifying, sweating out really can help to get that nicotine out of the system. So portable sauna or even like a contrast shower. We've spoken about this in the past. Maybe you can talk about it again. How you can do that, because that's going to help with cancer in general too as well. But whatever you can get that person to sweat just to get that toxins out of the system, so they can overcome that smoking addiction.
Yes, no, definitely. And you'll see the impact as well. So it's something that will definitely help because again, that's one of the factors that actually help in triggering and leading to one of the major causes of cancer. So we definitely want to see those. And so
yeah, and I see someone says there, what is the tincture that was mentioned? So I mentioned peppermint tincture, the peppermint tincture. Um, yes, and the remedy is 1 cup honey, 2 teaspoons peppermint powder, a third teaspoon peppermint tincture, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we will send you some of these things there. There's remedies there if you join our community on WhatsApp. So that way we can remind you and send you some of those recipes that we're talking about here throughout the class.
no, definitely. So what we're going to look at now is see something that we can also implement, especially for the men who may be having like prostate cancer. We're just going to share some general remedies that you can also be able to do. One of the things that we mentioned earlier that could also be applied and that we've utilized for that as well is the clay poultice, right? So for example, one way that you can be able to implement the clay poultice is you can actually make that same clay poultice by getting clay, mixing it with like some warm water, or you can even utilize like even castor oil. And you mix that in together until it becomes a very pasty consistency. Then you could place that over the entire groin area, right? And so that's one location that it can be placed over the groin area. Another location it can actually be placed just to help with the kidney area too, to really help with those aspects, is placing that poultice over the lower back area, the kidney area. And when you make that poultice of clay and you place it on there, something that you can also implement to keep that warm and to actually keep that activated and to do its job even more effectively is that same device that we showed you earlier, which is the infrared, which is this here right here, your infrared light. So you can have that turned on and actually have a therapy session where it may be like, let's say around 15 to 20 minutes and implement that several times, then that is something that you can actually be able to do and implement for it. So that's one of the remedies when it comes to the prostate area is having those clay poultices, the groin area, also the lower back area. We're going to share with you some more things that you can do as well.
Yeah, so another big one too is so in terms of cancer in general, what is the contrast shower? That's something that you can do at home. And you can do this here that can help to stimulate the immune system. So when your immune system is stimulated, and even when you help to raise your body temperature up, then your body produces more white blood cells, and those white blood cells can go into fight and eat away at the cancer. And what you would do here, you start off your shower and you'll do about 4 minutes of hot shower, as hot as you can handle. If it's starting to get a little cooler for you, put the temperature on hot as much as your body can withstand so you don't burn your skin, right? And then you do that for 4 minutes, then you switch to cold after the 4 minutes for about 30 seconds. So 30 seconds of cold. You want to go all the way cold. I know some of you guys live out in the city areas or close to like suburbs and stuff like that, and you run on the city water. And I know that water is not as cold as our water here. So you shouldn't be complaining about the water being really cold, right? You just shut up the hot and you have that cold water falling on you. That cold water will invigorate your system, produce happy hormones, dopamine, and all those goodies. But at the same time, it helps to stimulate your immune system too. So you do that you call it the contrast shower. So you do that 4 minutes hot, then 30 seconds cold, and you go back to hot again. 4 minutes hot, and then 30 seconds cold. And you can do that for about 25 to 30 minutes of that contrast shower. So now this can really help to stimulate your immune system. As I said before, can help to increase circulation. It helps to accelerate sweating and it brings your body temperature up. So many benefits of just doing this contrast shower as well. So this is not only applicable for those who are battling with cancer, but if you have any immune type of problems, and even let's say viral infections or some sort of bacterial infections, any infection that is causing you to be sick and you need to bring your immune system to a point where you can fight that infection, then this is the contrast shower that you can do here. Even for me personally, on a daily basis, every time I end my shower, with cold water. Even today, like I had a warm bath, and at the end, I do 30 seconds of cold when I end my shower. And it just helps me to withstand the cold around me a little better. So when I go outside in the cold, I don't feel as cold. And also, it just keeps my body invigorated, at all times. And when you apply cold to your body like that, for about the next 3 hours, your dopamine will be elevated. So if you want to do like concentrated work, then when you do that cold shower, it stimulates your body to the point where your brain goes into a hyper focus mode and your dopamine is elevated for the next 3 hours and you can do like deep work. So if you want to work and accomplish a lot of stuff, then this is some way you can stimulate the dopamine in your body to have more focus and concentration when you do your work.
Yes, and also like, just so you note as well, like we realized that one of the very effective ways in stimulating immunity, the immune system, and fighting cancer is utilizing what I guess a lot of different medical practices today don't really emphasize as much, which is water. Back in the 1800s, early 1900s, you had many water cure institutes, which they recognized the power of water and how effective water was in the restoration of man with various ailments, especially that of cancer. So what we found out is by using water, both internally and externally, it's a powerful means of helping the body to fight. And water, external applications of water, which is what we call water therapy or hydrotherapy, or also hydriatric procedures. We implement things like whether it may be steam chairs, whether it may be even fever baths, like, right, in a tub and so forth. those contrast showers, all of those are means to be able to stimulate what God has created us, a system that God has created within us, which is our immune system. Because that is one of the most powerful systems that you can be able to utilize as well to help in fighting off cancer. So if any other type of disease, really. So if we can help in activating that effectively, then we can work with nature in that process of fighting off those abnormal cells, which is really what cancer is, those abnormal cells that begins to multiply uncontrollably within the body. So implementing like, just doing those water therapies, you realize like, some in many different cases, like, 200 times or 300% increases your white blood cells' ability to fight off viruses, fungi, infections, and abnormalities even a lot more effectively.
Yeah, and there was this lady who came to our lifestyle center, and when she was at our lifestyle center, she went through all the program, the hydrotherapy, so the therapy treatments that we are doing here at our center. And she went back, and usually we tell people, you go back to your doctor about 2, 3 months later, as they continue on the take-home program that we give them as they go home. They have to continue on doing some stuff at home. But she went back and she went to the doctor almost immediately, maybe like a week after coming from the center here. And she also went to the doctor about maybe like a week prior to coming to the center here as well. So maybe like 1 month apart. And when she went back to the doctor and she did her lab work results showed that her white blood cell count increased tremendously. And the doctor obviously was pressuring her to do chemotherapy and radiation because the body was strengthened now and can withstand more of that, those treatments that they wanted to do with her. But, it just showed her that how just a short period of time coming to our center for like 2 weeks, how that helped to boost the immune system. And for those, we don't have sponsors here in our videos or what we're doing here. We're doing all this for free here. But one of the things that we do here, we do have a lifestyle center here. That's actually the building that we're in right now. And people come here to get treatments for the different illnesses to overcome those things naturally. So then we call Eden Lifestyle Home for those who are newcomers. We're Eden Lifestyle Home, and you can go to edenlifestylehome.org, and we'll post a link here in the chat. Also, those who watch on YouTube, you can look in the description, and you'll be able to sign up for our lifestyle sessions. You just click on request an e-packet, and you can join our next session. And you can sign up through there, do the online application to sign up for our next session. We do have a session coming up April the 21st, and that's going to go up until May the 5th. So if you want to join our next session, because we do have medical missionary training that is coming up in May, at the end of May, and we will be pausing from our sessions for about a month and a half or so, almost 2 months, as we go throughout that training and prepare for that training. So if you need to come to a lifestyle session, now is the time to come in April. That's actually starting this coming Sunday. So you want to be there at our lifestyle session as well. So we're going to leave our information here in the chat where you can contact us or go to our website and sign up for our lifestyle sessions.
And someone is asking, where is it located? So right now we're in upstate New York, which is not too far though from New York City. We're about like 2 hours north from New York City area, a lot of the areas there. So, if someone, like we've had people, last session, we had people coming in from different locations, from Canada, from New York and other locations. So, we are able to handle, do pickups and so forth if you're coming in internationally or from a different state, or if you're locally and you do want to be able to make the trip up yourself, you have those options. So feel free to be able to, send us an email, request an e-packet on the website, so that way we can be able to get that.
Yeah, and we've helped so many people with various different cancers. And the message that we want to leave here with you today, I think that is most important, is there is hope when you have cancer. A lot of times when people get cancer, they get diagnosed, for them, it's almost like a death sentence. They feel like, oh man, I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do. My case is a hopeless case. But we want to tell people that there is hope. And there's so many people that have overcome cancer. Just the people who have come to our facility. We have people who had breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and so many different cancers that people that we've interacted with, we have done programs with, or who have come to our center, and they were able to overcome their cancer. And even today, well, we have people who still cancer free just by doing things the natural way and having that hope, knowing that there is something that they could have actually have done to overcome the illness, which the doctors may deem that it's a hopeless case or incurable. So this year, God has an answer for cancer, and that's what we want to talk about here today.
Yes, no, definitely. So we're gonna see how we continue on here, showing you how we can implement other remedies to help, especially with cancer. I know we mentioned something earlier for prostate. We're gonna give you another remedy, because one of the things is, I mean, we work with individuals with like, really high levels of inflammation in the prostate area. And we're gonna share like some things that we can be able to do as well to be able to help with that, with the prostate area, to be able to help lower those points, right? So that'd be very crucial, very essential for individuals, something that you can implement with cancer or with just an enlarged prostate. And we're going to share like how you can implement a prostate suppository to be able to help in lowering that as well, and to be able to help with the prostate area, to help in restoring the prostate area. So we're gonna give you the recipe here, the ingredients and what it entails. So within that, if you're gonna make it, it's like a prostate suppository. Then you'll put all those ingredients together. You'll mix 1 cup of coconut oil, and coconut oil also will really help to bind the other ingredients we have, and to allow that to be in a more hardened form to be slipped into the rectal area. Of course, if you know that when if any man has gone to do a prostate check before, I'm not sure how many of you have, then you know how that is done. So that suppository enters the same area that they would usually check your prostate in. So you want to have 1 cup of coconut oil. Also, you'll do we're going to have in there as well saw palmetto, um, oak bark, and also ginger. So we'll have equal amounts of each, 1 part of each or equal amounts of each, of saw palmetto, oak bark, and also ginger. And that will be mixed in with the entire oil. So essentially what you'll do is, make sure that oil is in a melted state. If it's really hard, then you can, just place it over like a saucepan, be able to melt it a little bit, so that way you can be able to have that in a more liquid state. Then you'll add about 2 tablespoons of your powdered dried herbs, right? So the dried herbs that you have combined together, you add like 2 tablespoons of that into that oil mixture, and you basically turn off the your saucepan here and allow that to be able to like cool. So you mix it in together, you allow it to be able to cool. And once that is done, like what you could do is we're going to show like how you can be able to create a suppository through utilizing a simple thing like a glove, right? Because with each glove, you have about almost like 4 suppositories, that you could be able to use, right? So essentially that mixture that you have with the the coconut oil and the other items, you place that in there, and then, it will go down. You make sure it goes down towards where those fingers are. And those fingers, once the oil is in there, you can actually place that into like the refrigerator area. And what it will do, it will harden, right? So you'll have those things that will be hardened. And once that is like hardened enough, you can actually then be able to like, take out one finger at a time whenever you're using it. Like you
Just pop it
yeah,
out.
you can just pop out one finger at a time, and then you can take that finger that you basically popped out, which is now your suppository. And of course, for with prostate area, you want to be able to, you want to be able to lay on the side and have maybe yourself or your wife or have someone help you in slipping that in, right? So you want to be able to send it up, slip it into the rectal area, so that way the herbs will be able to go into where that prostate gland area is and begin to do its work right there. And that's something, again, you want to be able to keep doing on a regular basis until desired results, right? You want to keep doing that on a regular basis until desired results for it.
Yep. And also, there are like regular suppositories that you can use as well. This is the poor man's version. This is accessible to anyone. in all different types of countries. You can get disposable gloves, and you can use this here, put this in the freezer, and make suppositories, with the fingers here of these gloves here. So for those who also have access to like Amazon and different stuff like that, there are like suppositories that you can buy on Amazon that you can use to fill up, and it's a little nicer, and it's actually made for suppositories that go up to in the rectum area. And you can use those suppositories to help with your prostate. So, even just the frozenness, the coldness of the suppository, that can help to bring down the swelling of the prostate area. So this can work for people who have, individuals who have prostate cancer, but also this suppository here you can use this if you have inflamed prostate as well, where your PSA is high, enlarged prostate, and you can use this here that coldness can help to bring down a swelling of that enlarged prostate. So any men with enlarged prostate, you can use that hair to help you with that prostate as well.
Well, definitely. And, of course, with prostate issues as well, you do want to consider temperance, as that will definitely be a big factor in helping you a lot more with that restorative process. And when I say temperance, of course, temperance in the usage of the genitalia. And also besides from that as well, increasing your zinc will definitely dramatically help with that too. So some ways that you can be able to get zinc naturally, good sources, especially that of pumpkin seeds, that works really well. You can actually mix that in with like molasses as well. So what you could do is you can even, and it tastes really good too, you can actually blend up even some pumpkin seed mixed with molasses and taking that on a daily basis too. That is something that actually could work very well in increasing that zinc. Usually there are deficiencies there associated with anyone who may have like some sort of a high levels of high level PSA or enlarged prostate or even prostate cancer.
Yeah, definitely. And for those people who want to have access to some of our like prostate formulas, our phytochemo and all these different things there, we're gonna leave our contact information in the chat. We also posted it already. You can just feel free to call us, email us, or just you can contact us through those different means to be able to get in contact with us and see how we can get some of those formulas to you.
Yeah, and also very soon from now, what we'll be planning to do is actually a full section of remedies just for women as well, women health. So we're going to let you know about that because you don't want to miss it too, because we'll be covering a lot of things that may be plaguing a lot, right? And that we can be able to utilize different natural means to help with.
Yeah, definitely. And what we want to do here, before we even get into our like question and answer segment, I just want to show you, like, we just want to talk briefly about the advanced natural remedies training that we have coming up here very soon.
Yeah, and you definitely make sure that you be a part of that. I'm not sure like how many of you may be local to the New York area, but you don't just have to be local to New York. If you live in a different state, feel free to join in for the 10-day period, so that way you can be part of that training. Or if you may not be able to make it there physically, which we do understand, we are providing that training online as well, live, so you can be part of that experience. Ideally, we love for you to be there in person. If that's not a reality, then we'd love for you to be there, live. So then, in person. So then that would be from the end of May. We're going to be sharing you some information with
Yeah,
that.
so May 31st, and it's gonna go all the way to June the 8th, I believe. So it's gonna be about 10 days for the training here. And this 10-day training is gonna be on a daily basis from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening as well. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna just I'm pulling up so I can share my screen here with you guys.
Yeah. So while he's doing that as well, I mean, it's a gospel medical missionary training. We'll be covering things both from the gospel aspects and for the health aspects as well. We believe that the message of health is something that not only helps us physically, but even mentally and spiritually. And it's a means of turning people to God as their creator as well. So then, you definitely want to be a part of that experience. We'll be covering many aspects from Bible aspects to studying the Bible, canvassing different areas to health, natural laws of health, natural remedies, nutrition. We'll be looking at different types of water therapies, massage, many different areas in which you can be able to utilize in one, being able to apply that to your own life so that way you can get the help that you need maybe for something that you're experiencing. But for some of you, you may want to consider doing it to be of service to others as well. So what you want to do is, if someone in here who you may want to be able to say, hey, I want to also help others. I want to be a means of ensuring that I can be an answer to the problems that exist in this world and in my neighborhood and so on, then this training might be for you as well. So we definitely want you to be a part of it. We want you to join in, and we're going to share you some details here.
So this is it here from June 31st, May 31st, sorry, to June 9th, 2024. It's going to be in person in Brooklyn at the Christian Fellowship, Seventh-day Adventist Church. For those who are online, it's going to be on Zoom. And this training here is going to be very powerful. And, we'll be covering different stuff here, from kitchen remedies, emergency remedies, herbs, the foundation to fight and battle disease, plant-based cooking classes, massage, hydrotherapy, and so many different things there that we'll be covering. And have a link here in the chat here where you can sign up for the gospel medical missionary training. So if you are on Zoom, you can see that in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube here, we will have that down in the description once this video live streaming ends. They message me and they're like, oh, I can't sign up anymore because the early bird, whatever, I missed the early bird. So the early bird we still extended the early bird again. For those who are watching live, we open that early bird here for you so that we can get the early bird pricing. The early bird pricing is $197. When the early bird pricing is done and over with, it's going to jump to like $349, for that training here. So you want to make sure that you join right now with the early bird special, because that price will dramatically increase once that early bird ends there. So you want to sign up today if you can. That will be best right now, so you can maximize on that early bird special.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, make sure you sign up right now. Don't delay. And if there are some friends you want to be able to join you as well, or some relatives, make sure you have them sign up as well this evening right now. So that way you all could be part of that experience together. And, so don't hesitate, don't delay. I know a lot of times we could try to do things up until the last minute, but you want to make sure that you register before we close off that early bird and before we close off registration for it. So you go ahead and do that tonight or right now.
Yeah.
And also, as we move along, we're going to be seeing her. I know we have like several different questions and so forth, and we're going to see like what we can also cover in addition with some of the things that you may be probably inquiring about, some things that may be more related and relevant to some of you. So, anything you want to mention before we head into our question and answer?
So just one more thing, with the prostate, if with people who have prostate issues, enlarged prostate cancer and so forth, they may have problems urinating. So one thing I'll mention is to use that corn silk. You can get some corn silk. You can even bring water to a boil and pour the water into the corn silk in the jar or whatever. Or you bring the water to a boil with the corn silk inside of there, and then you off the water once the water comes to a boil. Because corn silk is a little more softer of an herb, if you want to call it herb. And then that really helps to increase the urination. It's a natural diuretic. The prostate is pressing against the bladder and keeping some of that fluid inside of there. So you want to use that corn silk to help to make sure that you eliminate all the way properly.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's see what we can cover here together. What we'll do, as usual, you want to go ahead and raise your virtual hand, right? Raise your virtual hand on Zoom. because we will also prioritize those who raise up their hands so that way we can also understand more context to your question. And also, if there aren't, whenever there are no hands as well raised up, we'll also go to the chat to see if there are any additional individuals in there. So make sure that you put up your virtual hand and we'll get you in the order. It will automatically put you into an order and we'll get you in the order that it comes in.
Yes, so Consilic helps to increase urination. It's a natural diuretic. And also Consilc is the little silky thing, the stringy thing that's at the end of the corn. You can actually buy the Consilc as a herb, online on Amazon or go to the health food store, whatever, get the Consilc like that is dried and so forth. So then that can help with frequent urination too as well. Sometimes you can have frequent urination because you're not eliminating all the liquid out of your system all in at one go. So Consilc will help with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have a Catherine on. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and that way we can be able to get your question.
Yes, good afternoon. You said to get a detox for the liver, no, for the colon, you showed this little bucket that you can use. Now, is there any treatment or anything that you can use instead of using that I could use to drink to detox the kidney, the
colon?
The colon?
Yeah, no, definitely. Good question. So what we showed you just now for the animal one, that was more so for even the liver, because we showed like the coffee enema application, which is a small amount that goes to the liver. But for the colon itself, we're going to have one of our team members here drop the link in the chat. So that way you can be able to get access to the colon cleanser. But also beyond that, if we can also drop the link for the total body detox, that's what I would really recommend because again, the colon is one of the eliminating organs. You do have like 7 channels of elimination. So what we've done is we've created a very extensive cleansing program that helps with the different areas in our body, especially the liver, the colon, the kidney, and all the different aspects. So doing the entire cleanse kit is what we will really recommend, and you will get a lot of results from that. It's a 30-day program, but it's something that you can be able to implement and do in your location.
Yeah, and we have to remember all the time that there are new people coming on all the time. So we did talk about this in the past there, but we want to stress on this again. When we start with anyone that is sick, the first thing that we put them on is a cleanse. So you need to get that cleanse detox kit that can really help to cleanse out all the what we call eliminative organs. So it has the kidney in there, the liver, blood purifier, lymphatic system cleanser, colon cleanser, parasite cleanser. So it has all those different cleanser inside your body, and it really gives you a thorough detox. Anybody that's with cancer, that's a must. You must do like a thorough body detox.
Even any general disease as well.
Yeah. Disease in general, and it's particular, especially if you have cancer, you don't want to skip that one. So you need to get that 30-day detox kit. We recommend it. We use this here at our center. When somebody comes to our center for different treatments, that's the first thing that we put them on. We have them go through the whole detox program as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks, appreciate it so much. Also, we do have another hand here, so we'll ask if, let me see here, Marcel, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
The Consilc, what women can use Consilc too? What's Consilc for other parts of the body?
Okay, did you hear? Can you ask that one more time? Sorry, we didn't hear it too clearly.
Consilc. Can women use Consilc too? Consilc is usually one and two. As I said, I listened to this program last week. I find it very interesting. My friend there, Catherine Joseph, she's introduced it to me. Right. But however, at no point in time I try to reach out to someone. I cannot hear no one to buy none of the products. As you said, the claim, I would like to get one of the claims. I am in New York now, but I'm going home on Friday back to Barbados. I'm going back to Barbados.
So, and which number did you try calling?
I called this same 844, the WhatsApp number, and then I try it in the chat, but I'm not getting through to nobody at all the time I call. I ain't get nobody.
So this is what I'll suggest, right? So for the cleanse kit, if you order right now, we can get that to you to your location. Where are you located right now in New York?
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm
Brooklyn.
on
Okay.
Dean between Kingston
okay.
and
Okay, so if you get it tonight, we can get it to you before Friday. We should be able to get it to you before Friday, before you head back to Barbados. And so then what I'll say is that link, you want to go ahead and get it like tonight, so that way we can actually get that to you on time.
how
So
much
you can
it is
get
for?
so the details would be on the link itself, but I believe it should be like maybe I think it's like 140 something for the entire cleanse kit, with all the different 5 items.
Is
To like
one
click the
So where
tell
it
me.
says your 30-day cleanse kit today.
Yeah, the link that says get your 30-day cleanse kit today, and so get that tonight though, so we can make sure we get it to you on time in the US. Else,
So which
yeah.
link I will have to press?
Yeah, so the one that says get your 30-day, and it was dropped in the chat again, the last link that was dropped in the chat. You can be able to click that and you can get it. But make sure it's tonight so we can get that to you on time, because the other option is sending to Barbados, which of course would be more shipping expenses there, right?
Yes.
So
one more question.
yeah.
How is some person that had ovarian and what can you use for that?
I'm going to pick up the remote. Oh, it's
Okay.
Yeah, so
ovarian cancer.
Yeah, and if you're not asking a question, make sure that your mic is muted too as well.
Okay, so then so 2 questions you have there. So just quickly, let me just answer the first question as well. I know you asked about can women use corn silk. So corn silk is not like it's not like gender specific. So both men and women can use corn silk. So especially ladies, like one thing that's common with ladies is that also a weak bladder as well. Corn silk could also work very well for that too. And if any younger ones may even have bedwetting, right? Bedwetting, whether it's a young lady or a young man, young boy, then corn silk works very good for that. So corn silk could work extremely well for ladies. You can utilize that, and it all depends too, like if just be helping with the urinary aspects. If a lady also has like UTI, then of course that's one aspect that could be used. We do have other things that could be used for that as well. Maybe we'll come to more of that in our future classes when we talk about women health, but yeah, so that's for that first question there. Now for
right.
Go ahead.
Ovarian, what you can use for that?
Yeah, no, definitely. So for ovarian cancer, it's not like let's just say 1 or 2 specific things that okay, this is all that is utilized. However, so far, like all the things we've been covering in the previous and in this class, those are like general fundamental basis for even things that we'll implement for ovarian cancer. So one, for ovarian cancer, a very strong extensive detoxification. Also, we do therapies from water therapies that helps to stimulate the immune system to fight off things a lot more effectively. We may be able to also do a lot of different, there are still different aspects like suppository aspects in different areas and enemas and different things like that that we will actually have done and implemented, douches and have done and implemented as well. So then it's a very
white man. When sister send 1 barrel or 2 barrels, and him come to things now.
Okay, I'm not sure if you're speaking or if someone is speaking to us or not, but if you're not asking a question, if you can like stay muted, that'll be great. But yeah, so then essentially implementing all of those things that we mentioned, and those would be like a good start and foundation. And again, going to lifestyle as well. Like for example, any cancer in general, we realize that there's one of the largest studies that was done on planet Earth. It's compiled in the book, the China study. And what they found out was that cancer could be turned off and turned on, right? Through different dietary means.
Them.
So I can use the hot and cold water I said earlier to stimulate. I can use the hot and cold water too, like the 4 hours before.
Yeah, the hot and cold water.
Yes.
So hot and cold water can use for cancer, for any types of infections, to stimulate your immune system, to increase circulation. You can even just do that on a daily basis. It's a really powerful remedy that you can use, easy to use at home.
For cold. You said to end it with cold water.
Yeah, end with cold. Always end with cold. Once you apply hot to your body, always end with cold. That helps to pulls your pores back and helps to trap the heat inside your body. You know, one thing that we want to mention as well, for those people who want further help with the different cancers and different issues that they're facing, what you can do here is we can probably post this in the chat as well. We want you to be able to sign up for our Heal at Home program. You can do a consultation with us if you want further help with your different issues. Because in this class here, obviously, we kind of get into details about all the different aspects of all the specific types of diseases. But then if you can be able to sign up for our Heal at Home program, then we can have a more specific program to your different illness. Yes, we're just getting back up now. I'm not sure if you can hear me on this one here, but I think we got disconnected. Okay.
Great. So
Yes.
hopefully you can hear me here. Okay. So then essentially what we mentioned in here as well is that corn silk is a diuretic, right? But at the same time, corn silk also it helps to strengthen the bladder. So like, for example, if someone is unable to urinate, it will serve as a diuretic as well, helping someone to urinate better. But because corn silk also strengthens the bladder, individuals with weak bladders who are unable to empty, the bladder fully, because it helps with that, then it could lessen, I guess, your it could lessen your urination because of those issues. So that's how corn silk is able to work.
Yeah, and also if you're not asking a question, make sure that you're muting your mic, so that we don't have any interference whilst we answering the questions here as well.
Okay, great. So then if there's any other anyone else with any question, feel free to raise your virtual hand so that way we can answer your question, and that way we can be able to help in answering those before we end off for today. So I'll just go through the chat while I wait for any hand to be raised up, and I do see Veronica on, so we'll take that hand. Veronica, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Can you please repeat the corn silk remedy recipe?
Yep. So it's just corn silk. What you can do, you can add, like let's say about, half a cup of corn silk or even a cup, because corn silk is very light and it expands depending on how you get it. If you get it in a powder form, then it's more condensed. But then you can add that into about 42 ounces of water, and you can bring that to a boil, and then you just off that water. So this is a remedy that you can use very simply to help with frequent urination and even prostate issues, because you have that frequent urination issue. You're not emptying out the bladder all the way, so it helps to have a diuretic effect on the body.
Yes. Also, so we'll go on here. I see we have a hand from Catherine. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, one more question. You gave a remedy for 1 cup of ginger, some palmetto or whatever herb, and then back. How do you do that? You warm the oil and you mix the herb together?
Yes. So you have a powder, you have the herbs in the powder form, and then you add the powder to the coconut oil, and then you mix it, you stir it in, you mix it all together. So you're making a suppository, because you're gonna put that in the freezer. You're gonna put this in like in the fingertips of a glove, or you get a suppository, and you put that mixture into there, and you put that in the freezer, and it gets solid. So then when you push it up into the rectum area and it starts to melt, the herb slowly sips out into the prostate area, and it targets the prostate area, and it helps to shrink and help to fight the cancer in that area and so forth.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
No problem. We do have also Marcel. You can go ahead, Marcel, and ask your question.
One more question. What can you use for if you have lymph nodes that is enlarging?
Okay, a lymph node enlarging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And what location? Just inquiring, but what location is that lymph node in?
Pelvis.
Okay. So good question. So then, yeah. So then, whatever lymph node is enlarging as well, one thing is that usually, of course, there's a lot of storage of your different fighter cells in there. So there's maybe a lot of times, some sort of infection or something that may be going on as well. So one of the things that you can actually do is, one, you can be able to help in stimulating the immune system by allowing it to fight off more effectively. So like doing a lot of therapies, like we mentioned, like even maybe a steam chair, or or even the contrast showers, helping to stimulate the immune system could actually help with that. That's one item. Another thing that could be done is you have two different powerful herbs that could actually work with swollen lymph nodes as well. One is mullein, the other one is lobelia. Mullein and lobelia, both of those actually help with different glandular issues, even that of lymph, inflamed lymph nodes as well. Those could actually work very well. So you want to stimulate the immune system, you can implement that mullein lobelia mixture that could greatly help as well. And we do have something simple that you can actually do from home as well. Renard is going to share with you as well what you can actually use.
Yeah, we have the rebounder here. We talked about this in our cleansing class here. But this stimulates the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is moved by movement, by walking. The calves, it's like how your heart pumps blood throughout your body. That helps to move the lymph fluid throughout your lymphatic system. So then jumping on this rebounder here, for about 30 minutes a day can really help to stimulate your lymphatic system to help to move that fluid through your lymphatic system here. So this is a good way to cleanse your lymphatic system. Also, for those inquiring, we talked about our total body cleanse as well. In our total body cleanse, we do have a lymphatic system cleanser as well. So cleansing the blood and the lymphatic system at the same time too as well. So that's something that you can implement as you do the full body detox cleanse. You'll be able to help to stimulate your lymphatic system too.
Yeah. Okay. So great, Marcel. Thank you for your question.
Yes, and the two herbs that you speak about for the lymph nodes, and can you have the names?
Okay.
I would two
So
names,
I just
please.
typed that in the chat. Check the chat so that way you can get the spelling of it as well. So check the chat, and we just typed that in there for you.
Yeah, and some people are asking for the recipes. Some people are asking for the consult thing, and you have questions on those things. We will be posting the recipes and the different things that we speak about throughout this class here. We'll be posting that in the WhatsApp community. So you want to make sure that you join our WhatsApp community so that way you can get access to some of those recipes. If you missed anything, because I know that we going back and we repeating the recipes and so forth. So you can be able to join that WhatsApp community, and we can send you all the recipes and everything that I've spoken about in this class.
Yeah. So let's see if we take our final question or questions here. Our final ones before we end off. Let's see here. We do have Joyce. Joyce, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. All right.
And for those people who are asking about the consultation, the website is posted there where you see Lifestyle Center, EdenLifestyleHome.org. You'll click on the Heal at Home tab on the website, Heal at Home tab. And then on the Heal at Home tab, then you just go down to, you can either sign up for as an advanced Heal at Home member or a simple Heal at Home member. If you just want a consultation, you can do simple. If you want advanced, where you have a coach that is coaching you through the Heal at Home program, then you can be able to sign up for either one of those here right from our website too as well.
All right, so we're going to just ask one more time, Joyce. If not, we're going to lower your hand so that way we can be able to wrap things up. But if you can unmute yourself, Joyce Corner, if you're there. If not, we're just going to move on. Okay, I noticed you're unable to, so we'll see. Maybe at another time you can ask your question.
Or you can ask the question in the chat as well, if you'll be able to type it out for us.
Yes. Okay, great. So again, the key thing is go ahead and make sure each and every one of you have joined the WhatsApp community. We'll be sharing more information there. Also, you can stay updated with whenever we have, whenever we go live. But again, every single Sunday, unless otherwise mentioned, at 4 p.m., we will be live. So you can be able to join and invite friends and family as well to be part of that experience. And I see, Joyce, you did mention, okay, if you have your question, we'll probably answer that final question before we end off.
Yeah, and I know that someone is saying that they joined the WhatsApp community and they didn't get the notes from our last class. Since we do have this cancer going on as a series here, we're just waiting until we had covered the last class, the last remedies, so that way we can send you one document instead of sending multiple documents each time. So we will be sending you some of those recipes here in the WhatsApp community of the last class and this class, all together as well.
Great. So, but yeah, so notice the question from Joy. So I think that's about it. Hopefully we got some of your questions. If not, again, feel free to write down your questions. If you thought about it throughout the week, next week you can be able to bring it in, so that way we can be able to continue on. And make sure you join our WhatsApp community. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And also join in, and you can be part of that experience as we continue to learn how we can be able to take care of our bodies through simple, natural, but dependable means to help in alleviating sickness, but also to help with the restoration of our body, mind, and soul.
Yep. And, as we come to close there, I just want to be able to call on the Creator for any of you who are battling with sickness out there, or anyone you just want to be able to, we can reach out to the Creator so they can bring healing and restoration to our bodies there. So let us pray here. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you so much for all that you've done. I pray for every single person life. I just pray that you may be able to bring about a healing and restoration that they long for, and give them the strength to carry out those things that they have learned in our classes, to make those lifestyle changes, and to be able to overcome this sickness. Is my prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 So we also have this class every week here at this time at 4 o'clock. We have this 1 hour class, and then we have a question and answer segment afterwards as well.